Don't, don't feel you have to rush.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, no, don't.
Okay, here we go. First off, my name is Brian. I'm a World War II reenactor. And I'm here with George, who is a German veteran of the Second World War. And he's going to share some of his experiences with us. So first I'd like to say thank you, George, for sharing some of your experiences.
You're welcome.
I know it's a sensitive subject sometimes. It brings up old
I
memories.
don't mind.
Okay. So first off, I guess we want to start before the war. Where are you from? What kind of work did you do?
I was born in Berlin, Germany, and I was in the regional. And where I worked, I served the apprenticeship in Spandau, Berlin, Spandau. This was a weapon factory, and I served it there. And then that's what you want to know. Okay, that's that part.
Okay, so you were in an apprenticeship program. I know the National Socialists had a lot of social programs.
Yeah.
Was that apprenticeship program part of one of your
It was a regular apprenticeship program. You have to serve 4.5 years.
Yes.
1 year by yourself, they showed you, and then you worked in the factory. Since the war was coming up, they cut the apprenticeship program, and I was then put already into the big screen and doing stuff journeymen do. And that's really I was able to finish the apprenticeship program I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know of any social programs that the National Socialists might have had in Germany? I know the women sometimes would get, if they were pregnant, they got long maternity leave. Do you know anything about stuff like that?
We had all those benefits, yeah.
You had all kinds of benefits?
Oh yeah, they never cut that down. Women took the time off, because that's what Germany, the future.
Yeah. What about education? Did they have social programs where people could go to college for free, or?
Educational program was like when you were young. They made sure you went to theaters and all this, that you get educated. You learned everything there is to learn about theater, about Napoleon, everything. Hitler made sure that you learned a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so,
we learned a lot at school about history.
So their agenda was to push education, science, and technology.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, that seems really good.
Yeah.
So at that time, before the war, you would say, were those the good days? I mean, were most people happy? Were they?
Go ahead.
Looking forward to the future? I mean, good days?
When it comes to happy.
I know that's a relative term.
No, yeah. When we talk about this, it's something like, yes, we were happy. What? Because we don't know any difference. You could not, you didn't have anything, so you had nothing to lose. You had socialized medicine. You didn't have to pay for anything, but you haven't got a house either and all that. But we were happy because we had nothing to lose.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, that seems like more than what some Americans get today, because a lot of Americans don't have health care and some of the free education benefits that you guys have received. So that's a different form of government that maybe Americans don't really
You don't have to
understand.
be a soldier. You got those benefits when you're young.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess starting into the war, were you drafted into the army, or did you join? You were drafted into the army.
Yeah.
And where were you stationed?
In Berlin, and Spandau was an outskirt. Yeah. That's looking at the hand grenade over there.
Yeah.
And I recall the time when they teach us how to use them.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, they taught us how to use them. And I recall the one guy, he was supposed to throw.
Yeah.
And he couldn't let go, he froze.
Yeah.
And the sergeant had enough nerves to grab it out of his hands, otherwise he would have been gone.
Yeah.
I recall that.
Yeah, people panic sometimes
Yeah.
in stress situations.
I never forget that, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, it's just a reproduction fake.
When I know that.
So Spandau. So what kind of training did you receive when you were at Spandau?
So, it was all a rush thing.
It was all rush.
Oh yeah, because they needed soldiers.
So they didn't give you much training.
No. We were marching to the shooting range out of town, and then I remember we marched to the city, and then boots on, and then girls were looking out the window waving, and when we got there we were shooting, and then I made this big mistake, I guess, and became the best shot there, and that entitled me then, which I didn't know to go to Russia. I became a sharpshooter. Okay.
Okay. Oh, so that's how you qualified to be a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Okay. But besides that, you don't remember too much of the training about drilling and proper dress and proper etiquette?
Not much, no. There was no more time for that. They showed a part of those things.
So what year do you think this was?
Oh my God, no, that's not.
Was this early war, or do you think this was
early
late?
in the war?
Early in the war.
It was just the beginning, I think, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So do you remember what unit or division you were in?
I don't recall it. We used to call it, everybody, Tit Valley, we called it, you know.
Yeah.
And it has a crossword. Everything is in a rush, we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of it why I don't recall.
Yeah, especially if you were drafted.
Yeah,
It's not like
it
you
went
were...
everything fast.
Okay, so so after your training, they're going to send you to the front. How did you get to the front?
After the training,
And where
hold on, I didn't get right there. I got to France.
you went to France first?
Yeah, the occupation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were stationed in the Paris, or what city?
On the French Riviera.
You were stationed on the French Riviera.
In a big, nice castle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was probably easy duty. You were probably just hanging out in France and drinking.
That was good. I looked for girls.
Enjoying the
Girls
culture.
look for girls.
Oh.
The girls want nothing to do with you when you had the uniform. But when you put civilian clothes on, and I got that fast, then they liked you.
Okay, so you put on civilian clothing and they,
Yeah.
oh, you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
Because they probably had a shortage of men at the time too.
Oh
maybe.
yeah. So then we had to stand guard on the ocean, you know, maybe because of an invasion or what. And I remember standing guard, and there was this, from the mansion, that steps going down toward the ocean, and I put a tin can on one side, and the other side I put a tin can connected with strings, and as a guard I fell asleep.
Yeah.
That was the idea. And then the lieutenant came and he hit that string and the tin cans rolled down and woke me up. Oh, he was mad. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that seems kind of
Yeah.
interesting that you would have
Protected myself.
Yeah. Okay, so how long do you think you were in France for? Or
Not too long.
not too long?
No, see, I went there that was a Brest. There was all them U-boats there.
The U-boats?
Stations
Yeah.
there, yeah. And we were down there. And there's not much to recall. I just know that they were there. And we were practicing there, hot like hell. You know, and I remember I didn't follow orders or something, and they punished me. And you got about 80, 90, 100 degrees, and they made us hours. Put gas mask on, and then we could crowd in front of the French people on the street.
Oh, okay.
To show us, and then of course we fainted with the heat and the gas mask.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's
That's good to mention, yeah.
pretty extreme.
They didn't pat you on the shoulder, no.
Okay. So next you get sent to Russia? Is that?
Yeah, just about. Okay?
And how did you get to Russia? Did you by train?
On
or
the train.
By the train.
Yeah, I remember that from Germany to Poland we had those kind of luxury train. And I remember I was crowded. I remember they lifted me up in a luggage rack. I was small. And I could sleep and they couldn't. Yeah.
Must have been really packed on that train.
Oh yeah. And then when we got to Poland, and then we were defumed with powder, you know. With
so you were deloused.
Deloused. Yeah.
So there, you might have had lice or
no, not getting it.
This was preventative measures.
Yeah.
Do you remember what this powder was called?
No.
Was it? Do you think it was Zyklon B?
No.
I know I think they used that as a delouse.
No, they had
You don't remember, but it was a powder.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got into Poland, and they used the boxcars. You know, when I see the movie Dr. Zhivago, that brings back memories too. That's the way we travel.
So those trains are similar to the trains you guys
and
use?
already went to villages that was only skeletons of houses, you know.
Okay.
So that was the trip there to the front, you know, the Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get to the Ukraine, and do you immediately get to the front by train, or do you stop and take a truck to the front?
I really wasn't confronted at that time with the front, because but there was a river between. It's called Orella, and that's where I get acquainted with the Russian, Siberian sharpshooters, and the Russian tied them in the trees, so if they get hit, they won't fall down, and it's a giveaway.
Okay.
Okay, and we were across from it.
Okay.
So, and I recall we were in front of a hill coming down quite a bit, and there were the trenches, and we were in them trenches, and sometimes it would rain, and we stood in there up to here in the water. But still amazing, I never got rheumatism. I thought I would, you know.
Okay.
So, and as a sharpshooter, we were only allowed to shoot at food carriers and ranks, big ranks.
Okay, so you had objectives which you were supposed to engage.
Oh yeah, you cannot give yourself away because of one crummy soldier.
So, as a sharpshooter, did you have a spotter, or did you work you worked by yourself?
Yeah.
So basically, you used the K98.
Yeah. No, it was a different one, a bigger one.
It was a bigger rifle.
Yeah, but the same principle.
The same principle.
It had 10 shots in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or something like that, you know.
Okay. So did your rifle have a scope on it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So what ranges do you think you would engage the enemy at? Would you like a football field is 100 yards, 100 meters? Do you think you would shoot out at 200 yards or 500 meters or?
Well, when we were there, we were close.
You were
the
close.
river was between, yeah. You know.
Oh, so it could be like 50.
Like from here to the next straight over there.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
under 100 meters. So.
Yeah.
So you were engaging the enemy there. So
yeah.
So when you engaged it, were you concealed somewhere? Did you hide? Did you use
camouflage? Yeah, definitely. You were making yourself equal to the Mother Nature.
Okay, so you used natural leaves and branches and things.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever incorporate the Zeltbahn?
The what?
The Zeltbahn, the rain gear piece.
The
Zeltbahn.
Not so much.
I know there's a hole there. You put your head through, and you can.
We didn't have much there anymore.
You didn't have this.
Short of supply.
You were short of supply.
Oh yeah.
So you had. Well, I think the natural elements were probably better, anyways, because it's it blends in better.
And then that's where I lost some of my comrades, you might call it. At night we were standing guard, and every 4 hours you took a break, and they had a bunker. Mm-hmm. We made them, like you had that show there.
Yeah.
And they made a mistake. They come in at night and they were tired, and they had them hand grenade hanging on them homemade vets.
Yeah.
And he ripped one off and then blew them away.
Oh no.
Yeah, they were gone.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Okay, so, so as far as your camouflage, did they train you on how to camouflage, or
No.
did you something you picked up from another guy?
There was no time for it. They just tell you what to do.
They just told you basically what to do, and
Yeah.
you try to figure your own way to cover yourself up.
And we had no camouflage. You didn't carry anything.
You didn't carry it.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean that wouldn't be practical to carry stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better to use the natural material that's there
Oh, yeah.
and blend into the environment.
Like I said, when I see your show there, you're a gentleman in a tuxedo.
Yeah.
We didn't have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta remember everything was short, and so things was unnecessary. You're supposed to fight and not dress up.
Okay. So when you're at that position, maybe you guys took that position. How would you relocate to a new position? Like if you fired, would you? If you fired at the enemy, would you relocate
You move instantly.
instantly? You wouldn't take 2 shots at one spot.
No. You move away, baby.
Okay.
You know. Oh yeah.
Okay. So would you have that spot that you're going to move to pre-planned? Would you know ahead of time where you're going to move?
No, you just go.
You just shoot and then find a place to go.
Yeah.
Okay. And hopefully some-place that's undercover or concealment.
Well, in that case, I could go in a ditch. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I know you said you worked by yourself. Were there other snipers or sharpshooters that had a spotter or
in my
observer?
unit, no, there was nothing. That was me.
Okay, but the other
In
guys.
our area, you know.
Oh, so you were the only sniper in your area?
Yeah, in that one unit. Yeah.
Okay, so there wasn't like another sniper.
No.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So I guess so when you're in the area, did you meet the Russian people, or did you have any experiences with the Russian people?
Yes, we were then. Later, we were pulled back, and we were met the Ukrainian people, and I think that they call it the White Russians.
The White Russians, yeah, they fought against the communists.
Yeah, and they about was the nicest people you can think of.
Yeah.
They were poor, and they were afraid to eat their own eggs from their chickens because the Russian wanted the eggs. They were afraid.
They were afraid.
Yeah, like in Germany, you said something you have to watch, you know. They were afraid, and I remember they were just beautiful people. And I remember having candy in my pocket, and they had this little baby. They're all bald because of fleas. They had Halia, what's the name, Halia. And I want to give my candy to the girl. She was a little, you know.
Yeah.
And they would jerk her away from me because they told them the Nazis is poison.
Oh.
And then I thought I kind of got this little bit keyed off, and I thought, well, if that's the way you want to be, I ate it. All of a sudden it was okay. They know it wasn't poison.
Yeah.
And then she went and did my laundry on the lake with the clay, you know, and pounded it, and just plain nice people.
So the Ukrainians were really nice to you.
Oh God, yeah. They stood there, they took care of the graves and all that.
So
I was in the Russian.
Oh, so the Ukrainian women would take care of the graves?
And
Would they put flowers on the graves?
Yeah,
okay.
all of them. Both Russian and all.
Okay.
And then I remember we were there for a week or what, and then we got so acquainted, and then the woman said, said we are leaving for training again. We always went out, and we went out there, and then and she said, what do you mean, they were dressed poorly, you know. He said, you're not come back. Yeah, I lied to her. And I said, no, how would you know? She pointed, and it was a mud, everything, you know. There's a picture of Mary, the Holy, you know.
Yeah.
And she told me, oh, no, how do I do that now? Well, anyway, on the way out, then she stood there, and I remember the dust from the street, you know, and she was tears rolling down, you know. And it was kind of sad, but that's the way it was.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So what would you say the morale of the men were? Do you think they just were they enthusiastic about doing the job? Or did
I
they
don't
just
think
want,
at that point, no.
they just
They
wanted,
were kind of, yeah.
they just wanted to go
You-
home?
When we got there, and the people who were there were replaced them, they were beat up.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, and then when they came down the road, you gotta remember, hot, you know, everything was dried out. And when they came down the road, gray in the face,
So they just wanted to go home?
they don't even talk.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I said, how was it? They just keep talking like zombies, you know.
Yeah,
So we had a kind of notion that we are going to go to honeymoon there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so they had, so then that must have been
Yeah.
pretty, pretty interesting, or pretty,
yeah. No more, no, that was. You,
no more,
You did because you were older too.
yeah, okay.
And that was already. Soldiers weren't to, you know, sometimes disobeyed their lieutenants, you know, because they got keyed off, you
Yeah,
know.
okay. So, I guess next, so I want to talk about the weapons.
Yeah.
What kind of, like, oh, maybe first some of the slang. Did you have slang words for like new guys? If there was a new guy, would there be a slang word or
No,
term?
I don't know.
Or an old guy? Sometimes I heard that there, if a seasoned veteran would be called like an old hand, or did you have a slang for that?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No.
No. Oh, okay. But you don't recall any of the slang words